Live from Canada, it's the SSN podcast with your hosts, Larcher and Liberty. Yes, we are live. We're live on YouTube, my friend Liberty. If you look at the Discord, I sent the link that you can go say hi to chat with. It's out of the media, I think the link up. SSN
I'm
podcast
in the wrong. There it is.
There it is.
Hold up.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, no,
As we try to get these going, guess what? Surprise two-man show. We had an advice from a heads up from Colin that he had to go stub his toe and die, so he's gone.
Yep.
May he rest. And then we had Michael, who decided, you know what? That stub toe sounds kind of fun. Let's do it again. He did it twice, but this time on two toes. That's how severe it was. So he's out. May he rot. No, fuck you. Fuck you, Michael.
May he rot in peace, though.
Yeah. And Tom couldn't make it because Tom had to actually be a parent and make some baby stuff for his upcoming child. So,
all right.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Tom and his girlfriend are expecting to have a baby in August, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So they got some of their. From what he was saying, I guess today she's out of the house, so obviously there's no one there to get ready for a shipment that's coming in of like a nursery chair and something else, and he has to set up the lights for the nursery itself.
Oh,
yeah, and yeah, so it's gonna be his first child. He's excited, you know. They're all anxious and stuff, and obviously Chelsea is far enough along where she's like, "Get this fucking thing out of me."
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting, but. We're not here to talk about Tom's life, even though it's a good life. We are here to talk about the unfortunate things that are happening on Twitch. Again, this time...
Is there a new meta?
I don't know if this is going to be the new meta. This is a returning idea from one of these hot tub ladies who decided to take it to an extra level of, oh my god. We have that. We have so much more. Because this is the Select Start Network, where each and every week you can go ahead and join us on patreon.com/Select Start Network to join us live here on YouTube, or when we don't do it then, you can go ahead and watch us on our free weekend month that we do every new month at twitch.tv/SSN Plays. But for now, Lib, how are you? How you feeling? You had that giant jug of ice or cup of ice of what I'm assuming is water? Is it a hot day?
It was water. It was water, now it is ice. But I am doing good. Had a relatively tame week. I'm better now, but if anybody watched the Writing with Dice podcast, I was a complete tomato on that show from my sunburn. And now I'm still a little bit red, but I'm peeling, so I'm getting through.
Oh, now you're an onion. You went from a tomato to an onion. Just layers of Liberty. Yeah. Well, yeah. So wait, what did you do that caused you to fucking go beet red or tomato red?
So I had one of my friends came over because he's been in London for a while, and he came down to Chatham, and we just were out in the sun the entire day, swimming, drinking, shooting the shit, all that stuff. But literally for like 6 hours in a row, I was just outside in the sun, and I didn't put sunscreen on, so I
got it.
Pretty basically your normal sunburn story of I was stupid and now I'm burnt.
Yeah, the typical white boy story. Got it.
Yes, exactly. So I'm doing better now. But how about you? How's your week been?
Week on my side has been holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of energy coming into that.
Yeah, it's been busy. We're really ramping up things on our side for the business portion of everything, where we have to make. I've talked about this on stream a couple times, but we're in the process of making our demo pitch. For demo day, which is pitch day to investors. We have to make a video talking about the company. Basically, instead of having it in person because of the pandemic and all that, we have to produce about a 2.5 minute video talking about us, who we are, why we're doing this, the solution, like what solution we bring to the public, to the people, why they should be interested in investing with us, and kind of in the video touch a couple of key subjects that they might ask before the end of the video. And after that, we have to then be put into a breakout room where we sit there and wait for people to come in and ask us questions if they're interested in investing with us. So that's kind of like the big thing that's due in a month. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I had to sit down and do the good old the shot list. But not the shot list. I can't remember what it's called anymore, Lib, but it's the one where you have your like medium shot host here, and then on the right hand side you have the audio, and it's like voiceover or music with background, that shit.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it's called anymore, but like I literally started using what I learned in school again to do that, because like we did that very rough draft version of that, and after that we're gonna throw it into storyboards. We're gonna see what we need, what B-roll footage we have to get. We got all that stuff, and then from there we set up 2 meetings with clients. Fun stuff. This is the business portion of the podcast, everyone. Yes. Where we have 2 appointments we set up with some clients. One, unfortunately, on Monday we have to see if we can reschedule, because we have our shots, our steroids apparently that we have to take.
Your microchips.
yeah, our microchips. I have to get the 5G tower signal coming in on Monday. That got changed around, so we have to do it sooner. But besides that, fucking Felix got his chickenpox shot done, and that was an experience. That was God. There's something as a parent that makes you want. What's up?
Your new kid just got his chickenpox shot?
Yeah, my new kid. Yeah.
My new kid's not
yeah, my new kid on the block. we had to go. I had to bring him over to the doctors to get him weighed, measured for height, and then get his chickenpox shot. And there's nothing more as a parent than hearing your kid cry because someone did something to them, and you want to I'm gonna punch you, like I'm gonna hurt you. Like it's an instinctive thing of like, you's gonna get hurt, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so but you know what? He took it like a champ. He cried for like 10 seconds and stopped, and he just looked at me like he has a sign. He has one sign that he does for 3 different things. Either so it's supposed to be all done, which I guess like the sign language version is this, right? All done.
Yeah.
But he only does it like this with his one hand, or he wants to eat. He does this, or he wants to say yes. He does this, or he wants to say bye, and he does that. Like he does that. So like, unfortunately, he kind of took all the different versions of that and kind of mushed them together. But if you ask him the question, he'll answer. But after the shot was done, he looked at me and he just went, "I'm like, you're all done, right?" And he's like, "I'm like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a week. It feels good to have the weekend up. But at the same time, I was telling this to other people too. Technically, Thursday is my only day off, where all I have to do is upload Writing with Dice, and that's it. Like I don't stream, I don't edit videos. I'm doing it Thursday is my one and only day where I call it my Friday Sunday, because it's my one day off and I can just chill. But now that even that's kind of changed, because Michael sends me invites to go play Smite while he's streaming. So I'm like, all right, I guess let's put the shirt on. Let's go. Let's just fucking have fun with it.
Dude, I swear to God, every Thursday, I know every Thursday, like I see you guys are playing, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna hop on, and I like start setting up, and then like, I swear to God, second week in a row, I just had intense stomach pain, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to go lay down. And like I was like, but it was like every time it was like normal day, feeling good, and then I'm like, oh shit, Michael's streaming, he's doing Smite. I'm starting to set my shit up, and I'm just like, oh God, I feel awful. This is the worst feeling in the world. And I'm like, I feel like so shitty. But
like, what's going on, dude? Are you okay?
I don't know. Like the thing is, it's like it just goes away. I just think that I haven't been eating well, so like my stomach is just fucking paying me back now because of it. But
yeah. Dude, okay.
Let's go right into the. Oh, what? Sorry, what did you want to say?
I was gonna say, just speaking of food, real quick, and a quick little segue. For people who don't know, Sam is currently at the grandparents' place right now. I'm back in Sudbury for like 2 weeks. We do this every summer so that he can just have a total different experience. Finally, go back in the woods and fishing and all that stuff, ATV riding. And one thing that Trace and I keep forgetting is when he's not around and we get food or we prepare food, we make way too much. Like this yesterday, I went over to Popeyes. I'm like, all right, let's just get like a dinner for everyone. Like it's super easy. We've been out all day. Let's just go and do that. I get their tender feast, which is like 14 chicken tenders, 2 large sides, 6 biscuits. I get it. I come
Yep.
home and I sit down and like I have like maybe two tenders, some fries, and some red beans, like a little bit of it. And I'm like, I'm full. Like I can't. And I
Yep.
look at him like, that's still an entire bucket there. Fuck, dude. You forget how much kids fucking eat because Sam he picks at stuff all day. Like he's in the fridge
Yeah.
all day. And it's not like he's grabbing big things. Like, I'll grab a cheese string here, then I'll grab some yogurt, then I'll grab some peppers, and I'll do this. But he's always, if he's not doing something, he's eating. Will, red beans, not red. Yeah, red beans and rice for the Popeyes thing, Will. But it's just the moment I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what? Oh, what? And then I'm like, sitting, why is the food still here? I'm like, all right, the fucking garbage disposal's not here. Fucking
Oh my.
kids, man.
Well, like we, at least I usually it's like I eat. I have like 3 times in the day I eat. Right.
Okay.
I get up. I usually wake up. I do my stuff to wake up, and then I grab like some food, and then depending on what if I'm actually busy or not, sometimes I'll just grab something small. But if I'm not busy, I'll have like breakfast.
Okay.
But then, like, later on in the day, around a lunchtime, I would eat my lunch, and then dinner, I eat my dinner, and then maybe in the night, if I'm staying up, I'll have like a snack or something. But like kids, for them, it's they eat when they're hungry
Fuck.
because they're at home. When they're at home, they're just playing video games, and then their stomach says, "I'm hungry." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go eat a cheese string."
Yeah.
He's not like, "Okay, I'll wait till dinner or whatever," or anything like that. Like,
It is.
and
This...
and I get it too. Like, I was freaking starving yesterday in like the afternoon because I think I didn't have lunch that day. I had breakfast, but I didn't have anything for lunch. But I knew my mom was making like a seafood pasta thing, and I was so excited for it. Like I just didn't eat because I wanted to eat more seafood pasta. So I just was staying hungry for like an hour or two, and then we had the pasta. It was fucking amazing. So like, but kids don't do that, right? They eat when they feel like it. It's like
it's an instinct.
Instinctual.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right away. It's like I'm hungry. I will go forage for food right away. There's nothing that stops them. There's nothing like, oh well, supper's in 5 minutes. Maybe I'll wait. Then it's like, no, I'm hungry. I'm grabbing an apple right now. And then they'll come eat for supper. It's like, oh, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm like, bitch, it's because you ate that goddamn apple. And it's like, fuck.
Or they'll just take 2 bites out of it, and then like, oh, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
And then they like try and throw it away, and you're like, you don't throw away a whole ass apple. Like, finish it. You started it.
They're like, what is wrong with you, you monster?
It is kind of funny, but like that's like the instinctual fact of all kids, though.
Yeah.
It's like that lack of filter for a while, where kids like it's why kids are so morally wrong 99% of the time. But they don't have the power to do anything evil with it.
Yeah.
It's just like you walk past a kid and they're like, you look really ugly today. And it's like, you realize the kid just in their brain thought, damn, this person looks like shit today. So they're like, well, I'm going to tell him because that's what I thought. I mean, eventually kids learn the morals and they learn what's wrong and right and stuff. But from a young age, it's just what you feel, right? Like it's, well, yeah, hopefully if the parenting is there, but it's like you feel something, so you do it, and then you get older and you realize things need to go through a filter before you say or do stuff. Like it's.
It is this idea. I mean, we've got something going on here. It is this idea that with kids, like we could. It's a 2-man show, dude. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want tonight. Yeah, we control. We dictate what happens here. But it is interesting with kids. The idea, like, when they say things, right? Like, as an example, luckily, Sam's never done this. Maybe this was more of a thing when I was a kid. But when I was younger, I've had friends who would go up to the parents and they'd be like, "Oh, why is that person dark?" And like, what they mean is like, why is that person black, or why is that person like of a brown skin or whatever? And then you have to sit down and like, okay, well, there's different ethnicities in the world, and this person's from their descendants or their families from Africa, and Africa has a lot of people who have darker skin color, and like they try to go into the whole world and explaining that. But like Sam, specifically especially when we moved over to London, that was no issues with that because we have a very diverse culture here where like there's a lot of Indians, and I mean actual Indians, like people from India. We have like a massive Muslim community. especially at the school where he's at. Most of the teachers are they're black. They're African Canadians, and
Mhm.
it's just like you're sitting there like, oh my god, like if I would have had that when I was a kid, maybe yeah, like my friends also wouldn't have had that. But I lived in Sudbury, up north, where it was white as white can be, because the white man pushed out all the Native Americans, all the indigenous people, and took that land for themselves. And it's
Yep.
like I would be shocked if I saw a Native American at that point, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so exotic. And it's like, what, it's like,
Well,
bitch, this is my land.
yeah. Well, I think too that now, more so now, even when I was growing up, a big part of growing up when you're a young kid, because your culture, like what you're around, is such a small circle,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot of what you see in like television and media and TV shows. And I think that, um, for me, and especially for Sam, when he was a little kid watching TV shows, there's a lot more diversity and inclusiveness that are
Mm-hmm.
seen in TV shows. So there's, for kids, there's more of an acceptance that people don't have to, look a certain way. Characters don't need to be looking like a certain way. Now, back older, like way long ago, where TV was less accessible, 90% of what you're experiencing was just like your inner friend group and your family.
Yeah.
And if you grew up in a primarily white town and you're a white person with a white family, then it can be like that culture shock. But for me, like I was, I had TV. My parents let me watch TV. Like we would see stuff, and I would see characters that looked like a bunch of different things, and it was always like, I think it was important at the time to like say like this is the normal. Like we don't need to now. I think stereotyping was still a thing
Oh yeah.
back when I was watching TV. Like I mean, it still is to this day, but like it very much was like in TV shows and stuff like that. So like it's interesting, like also how media can affect that, because I think for Sam, like probably watching TV shows, even watching, if you ever was a kid where you guys were watching something, he came in, he would see people of different, people of different color, people of different
Yeah.
nationalities, but they're represented as, they're just as people. They're not as something special. They're as, so for him, that never was an issue. Now, go back to when you were a kid, you get a kid who doesn't get out much and is just with his family, then they're going to say some really off-color shit like that. And then their parents are probably going to go, what the fuck did you just say? Holy shit, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know, it's that same thing though, right? It's the filter. They don't have the presence of mind where they realize that's not an okay thing to say.
Right.
Well, I mean,
think about this though. Think about this. Hold on a second. I got my fan because Mike. Sorry. Think about this. Way back when, so you were born in the 2000s, right, Lib? Or right before the 2000s?
98.
Yeah, 98.
Right
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I was a kid during the 2000s.
Yeah. So for me, this is going to be more towards some of the people in chat who have been here a bit longer, like myself. The most inclusive shows that I can remember. Maybe someone in chat can correct me. That I remember, and it's funny because one was a fighting thing, which was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Even though the casting, the way that they did it, ended up being kind of racist, because you had Trini, the Asian lady being the Yellow Ranger, and Zach,
Yeah.
the Black
In
man, being the
hindsight.
Black Ranger. But still, a diversity cast nonetheless. It's just unfortunate how it was set up. But then also like the Magic School Bus. That whole cast, like those kids, all those kids were of all different cultures and religions. And they even explored that in some of the episodes I remember. But then more importantly, the one that didn't have a barrier except for sexism was the WWF. Where you could have a black man as a champion somewhere, or you could have, a cruiserweight champion, which was like Takami Shinuku and all of them. But if you're a woman, you were, unfortunately, unless you were China. China was the only one that was allowed to beat up guys, because goddamn, she was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But if you were Sable or Terry Reynolds or any of those other people, unfortunately, you were banished to the the lingerie matches, the pillow fight matches, and the like mud bath matches, or whatever the fuck those people used to do. People are weird.
It's nice to see that the WWE now is very much the focus on women's wrestling is of the same caliber of the men's wrestling.
Oh my god! Dude.
Whereas I do remember that in the early 2000s,
Yep.
was the edgy, that was a really edgy phase of wrestling, and that was a ton of problematic rectification
Oh
going
my god,
on there. Like,
dude, what are the
I will say though, like
storylines?
it formed some of my crushes as a kid, but
Wait,
I'm
what?
going back and
Like who?
realizing it, and I'm
Like
like,
who? Like who? Do you remember some of
do
them?
you know what? No, I don't.
Ah,
I was really young.
yeah, yeah, it makes
Um,
sense.
but like, oh, I no, I can't remember any
I
of
can
them.
name you all of my female wrestler crushes, man.
How old were you though? Because I was
So
like
I would have
I
been,
was like 7.
yeah. So I would have been. Oh, I mean, yeah. So I would have been closer to my teens, a little close to being
Yeah.
teens. Just before that, but like, dude, fucking Trish Stratus, Stacy Keibler, Lita, fuck, dude. There was a couple other ones that I really like popped in my mind back then.
Mhm.
But like they were like it's funny because like two of those wrestlers, Trish Stratus and Lita, end up being the women who tried to, in a time where it was just all about like tits and ass. Unfortunately
Yeah.
for the female wrestlers, you had Trish Stratus and Lita at that, especially in the prime of their career and near the tail end, they were pushing for actual female wrestlers, where it wasn't just hair pulling and stuff. Like they were doing the suplexes, the DDTs, going off the ropes, moonsaults off the top rope and stuff with Lita and whatnot. Like they were pushing and just like trying to show that female wrestlers were more than just objects. And I remember that. And like they had some banger fucking matches back in the day. And to see
Mhm.
that, and then you see some of the wrestlers nowadays, like your Zelina Vegas or your Io Shirai and all these Shayna Baszlers. Oh my god,
Yep.
dude. They were able to take what was basically table scraps and evolve it to so much more. And
Mhm.
we are not. I have to just mention this in chat. We're not talking about Eva Marie, even though she left and she's back. And I hate Eva Marie, that she is still the diva. She was touted as the an old school diva in the sense where it's like all she did was just present herself and did no
Oh,
wrestling. Yeah, that's
and she did like the hair pulling and like
yes,
the
yeah,
yeah. I will say, I think Tom mentioned it too. When you're talking about like the diversity, it was a ton of diversity in the cast, but unfortunately, a lot of those characters were plagued by awful stereotypes.
oh yeah,
If you
yeah.
remember, oh, what was their tag team called? It's Carlito and the other guy,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
they were kind of cool because they're like a disrespectful thing. Like he used to, take the bite of the apple and
yeah.
spit it. And he had like the spine breaker, which was one of my favorite finishers because it looked so brutal.
Yeah.
But also, when they tag team together, they rode in on lawnmowers.
Oh,
That's
hold on. You're
two
not talking about
Mexican
Carlito. You're talking
people.
about Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero. Yes. Los
Oh
Guerreros.
yeah,
Yeah. They lie, they
yeah,
cheat, they steal. They lie, they cheat, they steal. Oh my god,
yeah.
dude. But see, with them, I will give Eddie and Chavo all the credit for this. Don't worry, this is not going to be the Wrestling Power Hour. This is just something that came up.
I
Um,
know, but we also both
yeah,
love talking about wrestling.
yes, yeah. They were able to take what could have been very stereotypical and quite frankly
What could have
offensive
been, what
storyline.
was.
But see, Chavo and Eddie took it to the cartoonish degree that they did, where like, yeah, they're riding lawnmowers or they come in with lowriders and they're bouncing it and they're all like super into it. And like, this is not at that time. It wasn't WWE telling them to be like, I need you to be super Mexican. They were just like, you know
Yeah.
what? Fuck it. You're gonna give us this? Let's go to the bank with it. And they were
Well,
honestly some of the most entertaining tag teams at that time with that.
I mean, you understand too, if you're in the WWE, you got to sell your character as much as you got to be cool and athletic. It's all about the
Yeah.
personality. And I will say, like, on the flip side of Chavo and Eddie Guerrero, you also had wrestlers like Rey Mysterio, who was fucking awesome. He was all about like respect and
Yeah.
loyalty and all that shit. And
Like a
like,
Latino
he was,
wrestler that didn't play into the Latino role. Like the
yeah,
stereotypical
he
Latino
did
role.
like the luchador mask, but
Yeah.
like,
That's
he
just from
like
his
wasn't
people.
like exactly. He wasn't the big tough macho luchador. He was the high flyer. He
Yeah.
was he was the underdog. I love Rey Mysterio. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Have you seen Rey Mysterio recently?
No, what is he up to?
Do yourself a favor and just search like Rey Mysterio 2021 or 2019 now. The dude slimmed the fuck down. The dude he's like close to his 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Still wrestling, doing crazier shit than he used to do way back when. And he looks better now than when he first started wrestling in the WWE. Like, he looks as good as he did way back in the ECW, WCW days. It is insane the regimen this man has taken. It's all
him and Seth Rollins had a rivalry.
Yeah, they did. The storyline there was pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie, but the wrestling was good between them two.
Yeah, so Seth Rollins is good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Seth Rollins.
God, how old is he? He looks so good.
Okay, all right. So let's do that right now. Let's do that. Try to guess Rey Mysterio's age. Okay, if you had to take a guess, knowing how long he's been in this system in the wrestling world, how old do you think this man is?
I would say late 40s. That's what I'd say.
Okay.
48.
Do you want to give me like a specific number? Do you want to like get a little extra?
47. I'm saying 47.
You're not cool. You're not bad. You're not bad. He's 46 years old. Like that man, that body.
That's still.
Yeah. No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Kudos to him, though, man. I love Rey Mysterio. One of my favorite events from the past, and it's personal ties as well as just cool ass wrestling.
Yeah.
Was I think it was 2004 Royal Rumble. I'm not sure the exact year, but Triple H is in the first two. Rey Mysterio comes in third, and Triple H and Rey Mysterio as the second and third made it all the way to the end as the final two. Mm-hmm. And like, I understand it's all planned and shit, but there's like this moment where fucking Triple H and Rey Mysterio, they finally realize it's them as the last two, and they just go up and fucking like dap each other up. Like, it was like this like huge respect thing, and then they went to their corners and they fucking like 1v1. They both were exhausted from this long ass war. It was so sick though. Yeah. It was like, you know, the golden age, two of the best wrestlers. I think Triple H won, but like it was like a big respect thing. Triple H like brought Rey Mysterio up after the win, and he was like, "This motherfucker right here deserves all the respect. He was with me through the very end." And it was so cool to see two of my favorite wrestlers. And like Triple H is such a he was such a like disrespectful dude too. So like for him to make part of his performance about like just shouting out another wrestler, like it was. But to be fair, Rey Mysterio did have a lot of respect in the league at the time. So like,
that's the thing. Rey Mysterio is one of those locker room veterans that it doesn't matter where he goes, he doesn't demand respect. He just gets respect. Like you don't go up to this man and be like, "Yo, what's up, you piece of shit." Like, no, that doesn't work. Like it's like, "Oh, hey sir, how's it going? How are you?" Like everyone knows. There's certain veterans within the industry that you just know how to react and talk to. And Tom, who again, he's building his nursery setup. He just wrote in, for those who don't know, there is a wrestler in AEW named Rey Fenix, not related to Rey Mysterio, just, you know, similar names. Mm-hmm. He is basically the modern age Rey Mysterio. And if you ever get a chance to watch him and his brother El Pentagon Zero, oh my God, they are one of the best luchador wrestlers out there right now. Like, they rival what you see like Rey Mysterio can do. I would recommend it. But
which is kind of funny because Rey Mysterio was like a newer Hurricane Rana, right? Like he.
Oh, dude,
was that the dude's name? That like old '90s dude who was
the Hurricane. The Hurricane. You done with the Hurricane?
He did the Hurricane Rana though.
Oh yeah. He did the Hurricane Rana, the Frankensteiners. Dude, the stuff that Rey does now puts the shit he used to do to shame. Yeah. Like this man has learned so much. It is unreal.
I still can't believe, like, because you think about, like, I think about some of my favorite, like, finishers, which that's probably my favorite part of the WWE is, like, signature finishing moves. Like, it's so goofy, but it's so cool. But you, like, think about them, like, you think about, like, the pedigree, super cool, but in actuality, you look at the move, it's not, like,
you just kind of like it.
Yeah. But, and then you think about sweet chin music, really cool, but it's just a fucking kick to the face.
Yeah.
But 619 is him literally fucking doing his spin on the ropes and then grabbing the ropes, pulling himself up on top of the rope and jumping off it onto you.
Yeah.
Like, that's so sick. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's way cooler than anybody else's. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love it. I mean, even John Cena's FU, which was super popular, was just a fucking suplex.
It was just a fireman's carry. It's all it was. It's just a fireman's carry.
STFU was like a leg, like an ankle lock. Like,
dude, the STFU. This is gonna be the last thing we're gonna mention about wrestling right now. John Cena's STFU, which is originally named just the STF, was one of the weakest looking submissions of all time because he did not lock any of it in properly. He barely clamped the leg behind, and when it comes to the head, you're supposed to like crank it up so like he's getting like his head's getting pulled and he's trapped and he can't move, right? But the way that Cena does it, he does it like this. So let's just say this is the person's head. He would do this and then pretend to lift up. Like there was nothing.
He did it very safe. Very safe.
Yeah. But the real version, it's like you're grabbing the head and you're yanking on it, and you're trying to make it look like as if you're gonna rip the guy's head off. Not John Cena. He just kind of like, I'm taking a nap now. Shh. Oh, it was pathetic. It was pathetic.
My last thing is just really funny. I think when you think about a lot of like the best submissions, at least personally, I think about the shit that me and my brother would try on each other. Because as it says, do not try this at home. Nobody follows that. But the one I remember hurting so much was the fucking walls of Jericho.
Oh, dude, you're arching the back.
Yeah. I'm so mad that he had that move because Sijin used it on me all the fucking time. It fucking hurt.
Oh my god.
I say that like it's kind of interesting growing up watching that stuff. That, you know, what I think of submissions and then actually getting into like MMA and stuff and realizing like some of the shit, like you look at the WWE submissions and they look so painful, but in actuality, an armbar hurts so much more and is so much harder to get out of. Like it's, you know, it's funny. Anywho, we can move on from wrestling. I think
one of the other things that we have to wrestle with right now, and it's depressing, is thank you, is the fact that Batman won't go down on Catwoman, and it's a goddamn tragedy. Okay,
unless it's in the Snyderverse.
yeah, unless it's in the Snyderverse. The
Snyder confirmed it.
Yes, I mean, dear Lord, did he confirm it with that fucking picture?
Yeah, I know.
Was not expecting that. That was wowzers. But yes, this is something that Colin brought to my attention, which then also gained a lot of popularity this week, and now has kind of calmed down again because it's a fucking cartoon. Well, this is where it stems from. For those who don't know, there is a writer for the Harley Quinn show that is a DC, I believe it's a DC show, like the network exclusive. And it's an R-rated, it's an adult-oriented show where they get to kind of they try to experiment different ways of how things would be approached on the bad guy side of life versus the good guy side of life. And because of that, things are vulgar, they're violent, and they get a little bit racy. Well, I guess,
and there's often caricatures of our characters that we love. Like if you've seen any of it, there's a clip of Aquaman where he's talking to them or something, and then he says to King Shark, he says something like, you should stop acting so bad or I'll tell your mother. And he's like, you don't know my mama. And Aquaman's like, actually, I know her very well. And then he goes, oh, and a dolphin swims under the water and he high-fives it. Like it's so goofy.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's fucking fun.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I guess not even unfortunate. I think this would have been a fun little kid, a little extra nod into, you know, the Batman mythos, if they would have allowed it. Is I guess there was a scene where, you know, Catwoman, and Batman are getting romantic together, and Batman was supposed to go down and perform oral sensations towards Catwoman. And I guess some WB executives were like, no, you can't do that. He's Batman. And then the writer's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, look, he's Batman. He's an icon. We can't sell toys with a dude who goes down on a woman. Like, it's not kid friendly. It's not whatever. And then it's like, what? He's like, you got to remove this. You have to remove this joke. It can't be done. So they did. It went out to the public because I think the writer literally talked about it on Twitter, or he went somewhere and he expressed his frustrations. and it fucking caught
I
fire.
don't even think it was like frustrations. I think it just was a funny anecdote to him because I mean, the thing was the big line that everybody's memeing on was that apparently it was said that when talking about Batman going down on Catwoman, the phrase was "That's not what heroes do," and I think Colin had mentioned it before, and he said if
Yeah.
they were just like, "Hey, he's still like a cartoon, he's still like a kid's character, like we want to sell toys and do the comics for the kids," it's like we want to stick away from it. That'd be rational, but then being like, "No, no, 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 that's not what a superhero does." It's like, oh, what? That's like a weird.
Like, why? Are you
It's like
sure?
a weird fighting point. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's.
But
Oh god, it's.
that's why a lot of people also started calling him like DJ Batman, because fucking DJ Khaled had that one famous quote
Yeah.
years ago. I don't go down
Yep.
on women. And it's like, it's so fuck, dude. But now
Yeah.
people are doing that, and there has been a fucking overboard of memes. Okay, of one of them. One of them makes me laugh. It's from the Hollywood Reporter. They collected a bunch of these memes, and it's the classic Robin getting smacked by Batman. And, and Robin saying, so I was going down on her, and gets interrupted with a slap, and it's Batman saying, heroes don't do that. And then there's the one that Zach showed me, which I love, and it's a picture of just like fucking Red Hood looking like a pimp on a chair with a book open, and the tweet reads, Red Hood does what Batman can't, has a whole different meaning now. Like, it's so good. Like, fucking the guy Kevin Smith is on it and everything. And then someone had pointed out a very good thing with here. It's like, all right, so in the Killing Joke, Batman won't go down on Catwoman. No, that's inappropriate because heroes don't do that, and that would look bad for superheroes and whatnot. But in the Killing Joke animated movie, it's okay for Batgirl and Batman to have sex, and like they lead on and hint onto that, and afterwards she's in her bra and underwear, and that's okay. Like what? What standards are these?
It sounds like an old ass dude that would see going down on a woman as a sign of weakness or something.
Oh, dude.
You know, that's how it comes across for me. And he's just like, no, he needs to be in a position of strength, like having sex. You know, it's like, oh, dude, what the fuck? Your everything is all gone. But I will say one meme I absolutely loved was from the Funhouse Twitter account. And I think it was like nobody and then blank, and then it was Batman, and it was that clip of Bruce Green going, "We get it, and that's it."
God. It is this idea, and it's to put these heroes on these pedestals that apparently the idea of them doing something for others more so than just saving their lives is perceived as perverted or anti-hero or anti perfect look. We're talking about a dude who dresses up as a bat to fight criminals who killed his parents. Like, the man has a lot of frustrations. You're telling me that he can't relieve some of those frustrations by, a little cunnilingus with one of his lady friends? Like, what the? But it's okay with him being a playboy and fucking the world around, but he can't. Oh my god! It's just like.
And do you know what? Do you know what's really stupid about it?
No, fucking.
He's got one part of the suit. He's got one part of the suit that is uncovered, and it's his fucking mouth. It's the one part that would make sense.
Oh my
god. I think it's stupid because I think when they doing scenes like that, shows like that, they say we want to a little bit in a little tiny way, like it's going to be goofy, funny. But also, it's somewhat tapping into the fact that these are still people.
Yeah.
They're still writing people. People have sexual relationships. People have different things going on. Like, they've already made like a horny Batman joke in the Harley Quinn show because he gets sprayed by Poison Ivy's pheromones, whatever. And like, I just think it's an older person with older views who's got sway and for whatever reason sees this as like whatever, and it's like kids aren't watching the Harley Quinn show though. No, this has become, this specific thing about Batman has become popular because he denied it, not because it was a part of the show. Can you imagine anyone like watching the show and then being like, dude, oh my god, Batman just munched box. What the hell? Like, Nobody would
I can't.
care.
I need to write to Congress. This is not acceptable.
Get Frank Miller back on Batman. This is not what I want.
Oh my god! And yeah, speaking of like big shots in the industry, for those who don't know, Zack Snyder ended up by posting a picture on his Twitter with the title "Canon," and it is exactly what you would think it would be. It is Catwoman laying down, Batman, like you said, performing the arts. And what it's in all honesty, the shot, like the drawing is beautiful. It is a beautiful fucking rendition of it. Like I think it's
a nice piece of art.
Yeah, but the thing that scares me is Catwoman's eyes. That's the only thing that scares me. Not because she's
I didn't realize till like the third time I saw it that she's like staring right at you.
Yes,
like,
thank you. That was gonna be my point. There's something just like, I don't care. Like, if she's in full mode of like, oh my god, this is that's cool. I don't like the fact that she's staring right at me while this is happening. This is like, I'm getting uncomfortable. Like, good for you. This is awesome. Can you?
Well,
just,
it's because you're in the position of Joker who just got caught. Like, what the fuck are they doing over there? Can you bring me to jail first?
It's like, no, you get to watch, but don't touch.
Joker you're just some random thug. Joker would be weird about it. You're just some like dude who tried to sell crack or something, and now you're on a building watching Batman and Catwoman fuck, and you're like, dude, this is kind of weird. Please take me to jail.
It is one of those moments where it's like, it's just, it's completely asinine that heroes like, here's my thing. If this would have been Superman, I would have been like, maybe kind of, because he's an alien, maybe he doesn't understand the concept of it. Like, maybe if you go into that level and then like he gets shown how to do it, and it's like, oh well, I can fucking with my tongue. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
That's what I think though, is that Superman's like the most generous hero. So like he has to, right?
Yeah,
like,
right. Okay.
I can't think like, and then like it's with Batman though. It's like Batman's historically horny. Like he has historically been a horny ass dude. Yeah. He's got to be munching box. Like, you can't tell me he's not. Also, he's like a billionaire philanthropist. Like, come on. When I think about an actual hero that like wouldn't, like, I don't know.
I got one.
I can't. Captain America.
Exactly right. So, Captain America would be the one hero because he's literally too old school to even think about. Because back then, that's, oh my god, no. Even touching over the pants, he'd be like, oh Peggy, I don't know about this. God's watching. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be the one where that may be inappropriate.
I think Chris Evans Captain America would, but I don't know about comic accurate Captain America. Comic accurate Captain America is a little bit more, you know, straight edge, I guess.
Yeah, straight in there. Yeah, down the narrow path. And then you have like Iron Man, who you'd make a contraption that you could just put there, and it'd feel like that, you know.
Yeah, it'd be worse though. But he'd be like, "I just fixed your problem." She's like, "I just wanted you to eat my box, dude."
What like, no. But here's a machine that'll do it for you. It's great.
I'll use my arc reactor. Charge like, God, it's. I mean, it's a nice topic to have for once in such a dark world now. That this could be something stupid we can talk about, but I don't know. It's dumb. It was a dumb thing, and I think what's come of it has been pretty funny, and like it, you know. For me, I think anybody who's like a real Batman fan doesn't give a shit about this. Either way, if he doesn't, whatever, no one cares. That's not the endearing fact about Batman that's going to keep us there. It's all of the other stuff. And have you seen, just talking about Batman and Batman characters, have you seen the new trailer for the new season of Titans?
No, I have not. Is Batman in it?
Batman is looks like he's about 60. Okay. They're doing like an old man Batman.
Yeah.
We also got to look at Red Hood, which I am unfortunately not very excited about.
Oh, why?
But I don't like the actor who plays Jason Todd. And the thing is, like, the guy who's Jason Todd is like, he's like younger-ish, but it's like Nightwing's like a foot taller than him. And if you know like the Bat family, like Jason's thing is that he's the big bruiser. Like that's part of his character, and that's also why he's so edgy. So it's like, just like the body type doesn't do it for me. I'm not a big fan of the actor. The suit isn't bad, but it's hard to do a red hood suit justice because the white eyes look so goofy in live action. They just do.
Oh, did they
Like
try to do white eyes on the suit?
they did the white. It looks good. It looks comic accurate. It's just that the white eyes on the mask is just it's like it's like I don't know. It doesn't look as good because it's that old comic white. It's like when they wear like if someone were to wear the Robin mask and it had the white eyes, like it's kind of that look.
Let me
Whereas
see here.
Spider-Man
I'm
kind of
pulling it up
works,
right now.
but
Okay. Yeah,
you see
so
what I'm saying though?
yeah, so
Looks good, but the eyes.
yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can pull this up for chat to see because some of them might not know about it. Give me a second. Yeah, it's so the best way to describe it is that the instead of it being so in we could say this in comics, one of the things that designers and all that don't have to worry about is indentations on masks or suits, especially the older versions, where like you could just have just white on where the eyes are. People like they build into their imagination. Oh yeah, that's like the indentations. That's like where the glasses are, like where the lenses, whatever you want to call them, would be. But unfortunately, when you actually have to do that practically, it doesn't quite turn out the way that it should. So I'm gonna pull it up right now for people to see. It has
Not bad,
but it's not the best. I'm gonna load that up right now for everyone. Here we go. Put that back where it belongs.
For me, it's just the guy who's playing Jason Todd. I find it very annoying. So it's
also, yeah, like you said, like when you look at the suit, when you look at this man, he is not big and brooding. He is not a massive, like he's like a bruiser. He doesn't look like a guy that would mess you up. He looks more like an assassin, like a small, like he belongs in the Foot Clan type of thing.
Yeah. It's like a Damian Wayne type vibe.
Yes.
Damian's always been small, edgy boy. Like that's in this kid gives up. I will say though, the Nightwing suit, if you can see that after the Nightwing suit looks really fucking good.
All right.
And so does Starfire's. Starfire's looks really good for this season too.
So I will definitely that, and we will
But
take a look.
The thing is though, like the suits, all this is cool, but the show, I watched the first season and I couldn't get through the second season because it's not very good at all. It is not.
All right.
And Beast Boy can only turn into a tiger, and I don't know why. It's really annoying. Well, I do know why. Budget-wise, they can't make him anything else, but
all right. Well, we're about to take a look at the Nightwings right after a word from our sponsors.
yes.
Hey, all right. This episode of the SSN podcast is, actually brought to you in part by two different things. One being Writing with Dice, and the second, the patch notes. Now, I want to go ahead and this is impromptu. Liberty.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the floor if you want to go ahead and plug the wonderful show that is the Writing with Dice, and that is aired every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Go ahead and explain it to the folks who might not know what it is about.
Well, if you guys haven't came in on Wednesdays with me and Colin, it's pretty simple. We basically come up with ideas for movies, and we do it by randomizing random shit with dice, and we roll for our genre and our setting and the characters and all that stuff. And basically we let the chat talk with us about ideas. But the whole point is that we're trying to make an actual story that we would be able to pitch in, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now, the thing is, 90% of the time, the movies are fucking awful because we have these things called wild cards that really mix up the stuff. Like we have to put Vin Diesel in the script at some point. We got one where Adam Sandler's in drag and he had to show up in the movie somewhere, and that can really fuck up a script. But yeah, the idea is we come up with a movie idea. We do it in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, have some fun. We try and get the chat involved, and we're making jokes the entire time. But that's basically the show. If you want to come out on Wednesdays, pay attention, have some fun. You want to give us ideas about movies, all that, about our scripts, all that when you come out, we'd be happy to have you. We do that every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and that's basically the gist.
Awesome. And for those who don't know, the other part that is sponsoring the wonderful SSN podcast is the patch notes, the SSN patch notes, where each and every Monday we will sit down, Stephanie_Ma and myself will go ahead and review all the week's news for video games. that you will get to go ahead and watch at 1 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday. This week, we're going to be pretty much going over everything that has happened in E3, see how well we did with our predictions, and more importantly, who won the little betting war between us both, and obviously what we are most excited for, what we think will be potentially disappointing, all that fun jazz. But yes, every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be going ahead and sitting down and talking all the video game news that we love, and we hope to see you there. And if you want to see any of these things with our bonus contents or ad-free, video-free, you can go ahead and go to patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork, just like so many of you are right now, like Alex, Will, oh my goodness, there's actually quite a few more, Andrew, Lep, Tom, all those wonderful people that are here to support us, and we love you for it. Thank you so much. We can't do this without you guys. You're the best around. No one's ever going to keep you down.
No, you're bring you down. Damn it, I said bring you down.
Well, I think you might have the right one there. You might have the right one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that. And that will be the end of our plugging of the show. I don't know why I did that.
Now
but
it's
I did
Nightwing time.
Yeah, Nightwing time, baby. I also found a picture that I'm going to load up that's going to show what Red Hood is supposed to look like. But this is Nightwing from the Titans show, and in all honesty, the suit does look really good. Like that is, like
it's good. It's good.
And the actor who plays Nightwing, I remember I watched I think I watched all of season 1, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a little edgy, but he's good.
Like yeah, once he calms down on the edge, when he finally becomes he actually becomes Nightwing. And like he's comfortable with what he thinks his role is in the universe. Yeah, I 100%. I find that he knocks it out of the park there. Now I'm just gonna very quickly. I need to post this in the link dump for us. Post that here. This is the comic representation of the Red Hood, and this is. Like you, just by the picture alone, you get a better idea of his size, his demeanor, everything. It's absolutely it's a banger. All right, as the kids say.
And the thing is, I've seen a lot of different interpretations of the Red Hood mask, which is it's his most prominent feature. He's the Red Hood, and that's the namesake. The one I really liked, but not a lot of people were fans of, was the Arkham Knight's. He almost had a dome mask. It was no eye holes. It was like a gas mask, but it was like the eye area was just basically like a straight dome without eye holes. And then he had like a almost skull like it came in, and then he had two little gas mask canisters.
Yeah.
Like it was simple, but it looked pretty cool, and I liked like that without the eyes. It was kind of like a cool little, you know, you can't see what's behind there.
Yeah.
Now, comic book wise, comic accurate is the white eyes. Like that's true.
Yeah.
And comic accuracy is a good thing. I do like going for it, but it's that's a specific thing. The white eyes is one thing that's always translated not very well to because could you imagine, for example, a live action Batman where through his mask eyes it was just white. It wasn't. Now, we got sort of that in Batman v Superman, but he was wearing the giant mech suit, so the light eyes made sense. But if it was like his normal bat suit and you couldn't see the eyes, it was just straight white, it would look weird, right? It wouldn't.
Yeah, it is something that I'm actually very happy with that they've never tried to do where, like, I've always been worried about that every time a new Batman comes out where they might try to mimic the white of the whole white eyes. And I was always worried, I'm like, what if they might force the guys to put, like, white contact lenses in? To hide their eyes. I was always worried about that, but luckily they've never done it. Like you said, the closest one was the literal fucking Batman, the anti-Superman suit that Batman wears in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one, like, it's as close as we're gonna get it. And I don't think we should have the white, like, because even the new one that's coming out with Robert Pattinson, I mean, that's a much more stripped down Batman. Right, that's almost like a year one.
It looks like it's very much Batman year one inspired.
So I'm okay with him not having that because like what's the other option? You're gonna have those mechanical eyes from Spider-Man, like that doesn't work.
Yeah, it only works on Spider-Man.
It only works on Spider-Man.
Deadpool works. Actually, no, Deadpool has them too. It works on Deadpool.
But you know why it works on Deadpool in my mind? Because he's a cartoon character. Deadpool is a
Yes.
cartoon character whose mask emotes way beyond the ways that it should be able to for us to see. Like the eyes will
Yep.
literally go when he goes like this, and he goes, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like all that shit happens,
Because
and
it's all they put CG time into it, and
yeah,
the thing is, this is why I love. This is a specific love of the new Tom Holland Spider-Man suit compared to the old. I love all of the Spider-Man suits except for the Amazing Spider-Man one with the
Garfield,
sunglass
Andrew
eyes.
Garfield, yeah,
But the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit was really good. The thing is, though, you get a lot of times they're in the Spider-Man suit and they're talking, and they're just their faces like this. It's like,
yeah.
oh no, Mary Jane, and it's. But then with Tom Holland, they finally did like it's mechanical eyes that focus and stuff. So there's expression, and it turns his head, and the eyes like you get expression in the eyes that
Yeah.
fits emotion and stuff, and that's the thing when you do a blank face with the white eyes, it's like hard to do emotion. But if you did a Red Hood without the eyes at all, like the lack of emotion is part of the character, so it could actually work.
Well, so
Like,
thinking about that, do you think it because like
it's tough.
he is a cocky prick too though? Like, so do you
Yeah.
think losing the expression of the eyes when he's being an asshole would benefit that though?
Oh, I think so completely.
Okay.
I think that his character would like the idea of like it's like because I mean even with the eyes it's almost a faceless expression, right?
Yeah.
And he's often trying to be super badass shit like that. And I think that it just it suits the character. Spider-Man, it doesn't suit the character for it to be a face expression. You want to see the expression
Yeah.
because he's a cheerful guy who's making jokes and stuff. And the eyes are a really good way for that to work. But like I don't know. Like I think I'm a big Red Hood guy.
Mhm.
Everybody knows it. Um, I like the entire suit because it's so hard to do a Red Hood suit practically
Yeah.
because it's such a the mask is just such a hard look. I think they did a really good job with it, but it's just the eyes. The eyes, it's a hard thing to do,
Mhm.
and they end up looking a little weird. Now the thing is, if you shoot it really well, you can make it look good. So, but I mean, but I will say the one thing that always kind of held up with about Titans was that the cinematography was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Writing aside, the cinematography looked pretty good. So
And the
I
choreography
don't.
too. Like the fight scenes
The
were
thing is, yeah, I want to watch it because it's got Red Hood in it, but that might not be enough for me
yeah.
because Titans was not very great.
Now, one other thing that's not too great is this
Okay.
new hubbalub that is happening on Twitch. Have you been following this at all, Lib?
No, you will need to fill me in.
All right. So, as you guys know, we did not that long ago a podcast talking about the hot tub meta, where female streamers had found it's not an exploit but a loophole to
Yep.
wear swimsuits that someone would say some people were not happy with, and be on camera, but because they were in a pool, it was acceptable because that's acceptable swimwear. Like it's acceptable
Yeah.
clothing to wear when you're in the pool. But Twitch didn't want you to do it when you're outside of a pool, so they found that exploit of the hot tub meta. A lot of people had found popularity for them with that tactic, and it got them eyes on their products. On the streams, and it got them money, which 100% fuck it. If it works, go for it. I'm not one that's going to tell you what not to do with that. Twitch then decided to make a hot tub subsection of, I think, their in real life stuff. So now they have their own little piece of paradise over there.
Is it like 18 plus?
No, so there is no age restrictions.
Okay.
And this is the problem that's about that I'm about to talk about now. One of the Twitch streamers that found out about this loophole and took advantage of it, Amaranth, has now also done something else that's not hot tub related. That this time, I think this might be me coming as a parent, talking about a platform that is technically accepted for all kids. Like literally, there's something there. Whether you're 13 years old all the way to an adult, like there's something there for you. And what she decided to do was wear provocative clothing, laying down in a position that obviously is suggestive of something, with her legs open up, like she's laying down and her legs are like this, like like bent, with the camera literally facing towards on an angle like that. So like you're seeing that first, and then the rest of her wearing the provocative clothing with those binaural I think they're called binaural microphones, which are made for ASMR camera microphones, like for streams and stuff or videos.
Yep.
And she was just sitting there with with that microphone in her hand, bringing it up to her mouth, and then sucking and licking it. And she would then whisper whatever. Yeah, and then she would whisper whatever she wants, which it didn't matter what she whispered at that point. But then she would then continue to lick and suck the one side of the microphone. And this is just to prove how fucked up this is for me personally. This was on Twitch's Here's What People Are Watching. So you are a 13-year-old boy, horny as fuck. You go to the landing page, and this is what you see. That's the first fucking thing you were greeted with. And I know for a fact that's what it is, because I logged into Tracy's account one day to watch someone else's stream, just to kind of help and support them. And Tracy wanted to see them anyway, so I gave them a follow through their account. And the moment I made it to the landing page, that's what she saw. And I'm like, are you... Like, what the fuck is this?
Well, that's the person you followed, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I then when you click on the video to see more, there is no age restriction. It doesn't say, hey, heads up, this user is doing something inappropriate or something that'd be considered as adult material. Do you wish to continue? None of that was there. And my content is that. My content, when I go stream, when I go live, it is literally marked, this is content meant for adults. Do you wish to continue? You have to, like, there is that age gate question. She does not have that. And she now has, because of it, she has like 35, 40,000 viewers watching this stuff. And again, I don't care if you're in a hot tub and you're talking to chat and you're like that. You don't get to, I'm trying not to get too upset. But you don't.
I know, I understand. It's, I personally feel weird, and I would feel weird watching that. But that might just be me. I don't know. I think the thing is, though, I don't necessarily think this is a Twitch problem as much as it is like an internet problem.
So it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both, right? So Twitch needs to step in at this point. Because like, it's not like that stream just happened. That had been going on for like 2.5 hours. Yeah. Twitch should have came in, pulled it off their front page, and forced her because they can stop the stream if they want. They could stop the stream and send her a message like, look, if you're gonna do this kind of shit, you have to age gate. You have to do something to warn people of what you're fucking doing, because this is not acceptable. Kids come by and see this. My second part of that is, yeah, the internet's a bunch of fucking thirsty assholes and like incredibly underage and immature individuals who will see and do whatever they want. It then falls upon the part of the content creator. If you want to do that shit, go make an OnlyFans. Go to Pornhub. Do softcore porn. Don't bring it to a platform that is meant technically primarily for kids who watch Fortnite streams. Okay?
I know it's such a touchy subject, and I just don't. I don't know.
And this is not
I don't understand it as a man, a man who could get horny. I don't understand this. I don't get it, because for me it's like, again, it's soft. It's like the just go watch porn. Like, I don't understand why.
But like, it's on Twitch, so it's acceptable.
Hours.
Yeah, it's acceptable because it's on Twitch, so it's not considered porn. You know what I mean?
And I think that kind of possibility of that would be that your parent checks your phone.
Yeah.
And then, but you say you watch Twitch, you show them, people playing video games and stuff, right? You show them all that.
Yeah.
And then they go, okay, Twitch is fine. And then they check your phone. Oh, you just been on Twitch. Like, it's fine. Yeah. Nothing bad there. Meanwhile, this is the shit you've been watching on Twitch. Like, I do know as a kid, like, there's that borderline stuff that is like, that you've seen and you're like, oh, this is weird. Like,
Yeah. I shouldn't be seeing this, but I'm seeing it right now. So there's that extra layer of like, ooh, this is like secretive and dirty. Ooh, and I get that because I was once a child. I understand.
I hope that multiple people got their parents walked in on them while they were watching that shit.
Right.
They'd be like, what the fuck is, and they're like, it's not porn. And they're like, I don't.
Are you sure about that? But like, even Colin, like, he's in chat right now. He's like, I'm typically on the side of letting people do what they want on Twitch, but she was definitely crossing the line. And like, again, you can do like a sexy talk ASMR. I don't care. Do that. Put a fucking age gate, and maybe don't blow the microphone. That part's weird. That part's weird for me. But like, that's their own kink. Fine. It's just,
and it's because for me, like the hot tub thing, because like I understand, like for the hot tub one, you're playing into, oh, and then you'd go and right on your board where you turn around and like you're in a bikini and your ass is there, and like that's. But for me, like that's fine. You're still just talking to people. You're just. Is it suggestive? Yes. Like, but for me, you got to do what you got to do what you want.
Yeah, make
it's
that
just
money.
That when you're at that level of like, again, it's like borderline porn.
Yeah.
It's because for me the hot tub thing was never that, right? It was just girls in hot tubs, and dudes like to see that, so they would pay attention to that. But when it's I think maybe an age restriction something. I can't solve it. I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me is I don't understand as a viewer why I would want to watch that. Right. I don't think it's marketed towards me, but like, it's like, I think because the thing is though, like I could, to more of an extent, I could understand watching a streamer in a hot tub, because this is a person that's going to talk to you and listen to, like, answer the things you say. Plus, they're attractive and they're in a bathing suit. Like that's,
and senpai noticed me.
Yeah, exactly. But for this, it's like, I would feel creepy. I feel like I'm intruding on something personal,
And
that's
speaking of which, though,
sorry.
On the subject, I just researched. I was gonna try to pull up Amaranth's Twitch to see if she put up an apology video or anything like that. Just pulling up her name on Google. Twitch bans Amaranth, Indie Fox, and more over controversial ASMR meta. So
so they did. Okay, well,
stepped in.
Congratulations, Justin. We did it.
Yeah, we men have suppressed women, white women. Yay! No, again, it is not the idea of suppression or anything like that, but it is the idea that there has to be some kind of system, which is the age gate, to stop kids from seeing things that are inappropriate. But yeah, so I just pulled this up real quick. This is from.
Wait, real quick. Could you imagine a dude doing that with like a mic?
I am tempted.
Oh yeah,
you're
a bad little girl.
Right? Look, I have two mics right here, right? And I could do that. I could literally I'm gonna blow this fucking microphone
Nobody
like you're not. Yeah, no. There's some sick fucks out there that'll watch me do that. Right? I'm looking at you, Andrew. But like, yes, like, I could definitely do the same fucking thing here. But that's not the point. The point is, if I'm going to do something like that, I will go create an OnlyFans, and I will do something like that. I will find my market from there, because I know that's where the people should be. But this is an article from .esports. It's by Preston Byers. This is literally like, obviously this was posted 13 hours ago, so it's not fresh. Like, it's not right off the presses, but it's as much as I could. And it goes, two popular, albeit controversial streamers were banned on Twitch today. Amaranth and Indie Fox were both hit with bans from the streaming platform today, according to Streamer Ban's Twitter account, which tracks suspicions involving partnered streamers. As this case with every Twitch ban, the platform has not given a reason or duration of the suspension. While Amaranth didn't explain either, she took the opportunity to promote her OnlyFans account via Twitter. Indie Fox tagged Amaranth in another tweet that alluded to their ban, saying that they had both had the weekend off. So now Amaranth is doing this, and her thing is like, I've been banned on Twitch. 1 like equals 1 second shorter ban. That's not true. Don't be an idiot. And then she has a link to her OnlyFans. So she's now taking this should have been done from the get-go. Unless this could have been a brilliant marketing ploy on her part. She gets banned. It could have been. Because honestly, fuck it. Why not? If you know you're going to get more money than $5, $5.99, $6.99 if you're in Canada for a Twitch sub, you could charge people $25 a month for them to see a picture of you doing this shit or doing these videos and all that stuff. And on OnlyFans, there are no restrictions, so you can do whatever you want. And that promise of that happening to with a content creator like Amaranth, guess what? That will draw people over there 100%. Like, hold on, I don't know how I'm an old man. I've never visited OnlyFans. I'm just curious, if you visit her page, does she show you how many? So it doesn't say how
Welcome
many
to the
subscribers she has.
Justin on OnlyFans cast.
So as here's an example. So here her thing is, subscribe to her right now. For 30 days, it's $8.24. So she's already increased the price of it, right?
Yep.
So those are the kind of things that you can get, and then whatever she promises on the, oh, here it is. So she has at least almost 500,000 likes on this page already, and I can almost guarantee you that wasn't like that until the ban. I can put my suspicion hat on at that point and be like, brilliant marketing. That's good for her.
Honestly, like, if it works, it works. I understand too, like, just talking about it as, you know, Twitch as a platform is, if it's harming the platform, if it's not, all that. I think business wise, if it works for her, it works for her. But like, I think that it's not, if I was to put blame on anyone for these situations, it would not be them as creators. It would be Twitch as a platform for not being more concrete with where the line is, you know. And I think they were playing with that line. They were seeing where they could go, how far they could push it as creators. Maybe they pushed past, they got banned. Now they're like, all right, now time to make some money off of it. Like, it's like, I don't blame them as creators. You know, it's capitalism. Like, it's the way the system works. So I would think it more relies on Twitch and them having to be concrete with you know, where the line is, what the rules are.
Yeah, it is this thing, right? And again, I will two things. I will agree with Colin saying the sexualized ASMR is the new girl bathwater. Like, Amaranth is pretty much has become the new Belle Delphine with that idea.
Yeah.
But the idea that Twitch should have, yes, concrete yes or no things that have to happen, especially after having creators like Amaranth and Indie Fox already pushing these boundaries. You would think that when they do go live, they would have probably more eyes on from the development team approach to make sure she's not doing something inappropriate. So if she does, you can stop it right away. But it's also on just a human being to know what they should and shouldn't do. Like, that there should be limits as to what, as an individual, you think should be gone too far. And I guarantee you, Amaranth knew what she was doing. Amaranth and Indie Fox knew exactly what they were doing. And this is just, like I said, it's going to help promote their platform on OnlyFans, where they can charge more, get more out of it, and potentially do less work if they want. Because now they don't have to stream as much on Twitch, because they have their OnlyFans that'll pay them as much. It's kind of this weird, I'm not happy. That's all I can say.
I don't know. Twitch is a weird platform.
It's a platform that's been around for 10 years that still hasn't fucking figured out what their core rules are.
I will say, like, with certainty, I'm genuinely scared to be a parent because of how much the internet can impact a kid. Like, just as the older I get, the more I'm gonna be like, man, I'm not letting my kid near a computer until he's at least, like, I don't know,
30
15,
and
like,
out of the house.
30. Like, it's. I think there's a lot of reasons why, like, the internet and stuff can impact people negatively, and but I think it's good as it is bad. But it's so impressionable on kids, and there's access to so much that it's like, it's a weird time to be a kid, and I think stuff like this does not make it any easier. Because at the same time, if you go on a Twitch, which is an acceptable platform to be on, because you know, when you think about stuff that's taboo, and then you see this on the front page, and there's like thousands of people all watching this and saying stuff, does that create a normal for you that this is something you should be rather expecting, or, like, you know, not that I think it'd be harming to women. I don't mean to say that, but you know, it's the idea of, it's like the WWE, right? If you don't want to set expectations of women for young impressionable men,
so
that are harmful.
there's a video that I posted in our podcast link dump that talks. It's a popular female streamer on Twitch who talks about this stuff, and her perspective on it's kind of dead on. It's exactly what we are talking about right now. If you give me a moment, I'll try to see if I can. I won't be able to pull it up.
Was she the one that said like a lot of her fans are asking her to do this stuff, and she's like,
well, what's happening
it's
now
like-
is acclimated to the idea of these, because these things are the things that show up on front page, that this is the new meta, that this is the new approach that you have for female streamers, that they will just join the chat and then be like, oh, why aren't you sucking on a microphone? Why aren't you talking dirty? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you in a bikini in a pool? And it's this pressure now that she's saying that that other female streamers are getting, that it's this expectation and impression that they need to be doing these things if they want to be a female streamer on Twitch, which is not the case. My God, you do you, fucking kick that ass, like do what you have to do,
that ass.
like get your money the way that you think you should be getting it. Unfortunately, if it's perverted, go somewhere else. Twitch is not the platform. Don't, because then it is this idea that these crazy gamer girls who are like, gamer girls, fuck that, great gaming women, like these women in this industry who are either artistic, brilliant in what they do, or they're good at talking, like not me, but like they can do podcasts, or they're just really good at video games, are now being harassed to take their clothes off and shit, is just unfortunate.
So like but ultimately, like, is it a byproduct of these other streamers? Yes, but it is ultimately the people,
Yes.
the men that are going into the chats and saying this stuff that like are to blame. Like, it's, it's
this weird thing.
It's tough.
It's this weird thing, right? Like, could these guys have been there the entire time and still could have harassed these women? Yes,
absolutely,
100%. These creeps are there, and they come out in droves. Does these racy ASMR streams or scantily clad, dressed up streams help bring these people out and then encourage them to do that to other female streamers? I won't say 100% yes, but if there's now an uprise of female streamers going on Twitter or on their own channels talking about it, how they're now being harassed more than before, then there has to be some kind of correlation attached to it.
Yeah,
it sucks.
I mean, ultimately, if any of the viewers want to know the opinions of women on this subject, you should go out and find those streamers that are talking about it, because their views are going to be a lot more informed and personal than ours are. We're just kind of shooting the shit about it, but
is talk about it as a parent, an adult, and
just a viewer.
Just as an
member
overall
on
viewer.
Twitch.
Yeah. Like, if you give me just a moment. So this is from the person's stream. I'm gonna post it in the chat if they want to see it. It's a tweet. The tweet is not from the streamer, but they do get credited in it, and they talk about it. So if you guys want your own opinions and build upon that, you can go ahead. The link is in the chat. You guys go ahead and take a look and give us your opinions afterwards. You can always hit us up on the socials to see where you guys stand on that. That being said, we're about at time for the podcast. We still do have a post show to do, so that'll be great. Lib, you're not much of a social person, right? On media, like you're not out there tweeting stuff.
No, it's really just my Instagram, and I don't even really post anything on my Instagram. But I do. If anyone wants to follow my Instagram, it's just Liberty Roundtree, no D in Roundtree, ROUNTREE. And basically there I just post about our shows, Writing with Dice, post about the podcast when we're live, like just a little the like the story thing. I just post this and those things. And I haven't been great with it, but we started doing it last week, and I actually we got a couple boost in viewers with it, so I got to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's almost like sharing does stuff,
right?
I know.
All right. And for myself, it's SSN Larcher on all platforms. Or if you want to follow SSN itself on all platforms, it's going to be officially SSN, except for Twitch. That one will be SSN plays. Obviously, you're here on YouTube already. YouTube.com/live-select-start. Thanks for joining, guys. For those who are sticking around for the post show, we'll see you there. Anyone else, we love you, and we will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.